Few subjects in bonsai cause as much argument, disagreement and controversy as bonsai soil, and few topics cause as much anxiety and confusion for people new to the hobby. But bonsai soil doesn't have to be difficult if you understand some simple horticultural principles and the basic needs of your trees. Here then is my take on bonsai soil and what you need to know to grow healthy, successful bonsai trees. Essential properties. To promote healthy growth of bonsai trees, the horticultural properties of the soil or substrate your trees grow in is crucial. The essential properties of bonsai soil are as follows: good drainage, aeration, moisture retention, and nutrient retention. Good drainage. Bonsai soil must have excellent drainage to prevent waterlogged roots, which can lead to root rot. Well-draining soil ensures that the excess water can escape, allowing the roots to breathe. When watered, any excess should drain out of the pot, meaning it should be almost impossible to overwater your trees. Aeration. Proper aeration is essential to provide oxygen to the roots of your trees. Aeration prevents the soil from becoming compacted, which can hinder root growth and nutrient absorption. A granular soil mix will allow greater aeration as the air inhabits the spaces between the soil particles. Roots require oxygen for respiration. Moisture retention. While drainage is vital, bonsai soil should also retain enough moisture to keep the roots hydrated between waterings. Certain types of soil particle will hold on to water molecules. This balance between water retention and free draining is critical for maintaining healthy and well-hydrated trees. Nutrient retention. Bonsai soil should be able to hold and release nutrients gradually. While the primary source of nutrients for bonsai comes from regular fertilization, the soil should aid in nutrient absorption. Organic soils will hold and release nutrients, but also bring problems of soil breakdown, pests and pathogens harmful to your trees. In truth, any substrate meeting the roots' needs of drainage, moisture, aeration, and essential elements will be the ideal substrate and your trees will grow. In addition to these essential properties, there are also other considerations to bear in mind. pH balance. The pH of the soil should be within an appropriate range for the specific tree species being grown. Some trees and shrubs like azalea prefer slightly acidic soil, while others thrive in neutral or slightly alkaline conditions. Particle size. Bonsai soil typically consists of a mix of different sized particles. These may include larger particles like gravel or clay for stability, and smaller particles like sand, pumice or perlite for aeration and drainage. The exact particle size varies depending on the tree's needs and your local climate. Too small and the soil will become compacted and the tree will be starved of essential oxygen. Consistency and stability. Ideally, the soil should maintain its structure and not break down too quickly. It should resist compaction over time, ensuring a stable environment for the roots. Sterility. Bonsai soil should be free from pathogens, pests and additives that can harm your tree. This is particularly important for the health of the bonsai. Frequent repotting. Bonsai trees require periodic repotting to refresh the soil, trim roots and maintain the health of the tree. The soil should be conducive to this practice. The ideal bonsai soil mix varies depending on the specific tree species, your climate and local conditions. Bonsai enthusiasts often create custom soil mixes by blending various components such as akadama, pumice, lava rock, perlite, composted pine bark, and more to achieve the right balance of these essential horticultural properties. Regular monitoring and adjustment of the soil mix are crucial to the support and healthy growth and development of bonsai trees. Tree growing conditions. Trees have the remarkable ability to adapt and tolerate growth in a range of soil types due to their diverse root systems and metabolic processes. This adaptability is why there is no one single optimum bonsai soil mix for all types of trees in all local environments and climates. Here's why. Different tree species have evolved with varying root structures to access and absorb nutrients and water. Some have shallow fibrous roots, while others develop deep tap roots. This means that the ideal soil mix must match the tree's natural root behaviour. Local soil composition can vary significantly from one region to another. Trees naturally adapt to the soil in their native habitats, which may be sandy, clayey, loamy or rocky. Bonsai enthusiasts need to replicate these conditions as closely as possible. Local climate and weather patterns greatly influence a tree's water and nutrient requirements. In arid climates, trees may need soil with higher water retention, while in the wetter regions, well-draining soil becomes essential to prevent root rot. Different tree species have specific preferences for pH levels, nutrient concentrations, and moisture levels in their growing medium. Bonsai soil must be customized to cater for these specific needs. Even within the same local environment, microclimates can vary. Some parts of a garden or yard may receive more or less sunlight, wind, or rainfall. This can impact the soil's drying and moisture retention rates. The growth stage of the bonsai, whether it's in the initial development phase, refinement phase, or mature stage, can also influence the ideal soil mix. Young trees may require a more moisture-retentive mix, while mature bonsai might need better aeration and drainage. The goals of the bonsai grower can also influence the choice of soil mix. Some growers aim for rapid growth, while others focus on refinement. Different soil compositions can support these different objectives. Given these variables, bonsai enthusiasts often create custom soil mixes by blending various components like akadama, pumice, lava rock, perlite, and organic matter such as composted pine bark. They adjust the proportions based on specific needs of the tree species, the local environment, and the desired growth outcome. In summary, trees' adaptability to different soil types and their responsiveness to local conditions and climates makes it essential to tailor bonsai soil mixes for each tree. The art and science of bonsai cultivation involves understanding the specific requirements of the tree species and creating a growing medium that mimics its natural environment, fostering healthy growth and longevity. Why we don't use garden soil. You might be wondering why, if a garden tree can be grown in garden soil, then why can't we do the same with bonsai trees? Well, the answer is this. It's the pot. Garden soil is primarily made up of organic particles, which by their very nature are continually breaking down and compacting, continually reducing the spaces between the molecules. In an open environment, water can drain away and run off, but in a confined container such as a bonsai pot, this is not the case. Unlike in the ground, excess water cannot run off in all directions, and a container filled with garden soil has little air because of the side walls. When garden soil is put in a bonsai pot and the tree is watered, the roots can't breathe. Commercial bonsai soil mixers. Much of the so-called bonsai soil sold in garden centres, such as this, is low-quality rubbish. No better than regular garden compost for growing bonsai and will hold too much moisture without providing good aeration. If you are going to buy a pre-mixed bonsai soil, you should do so from a reputable bonsai nursery. Several well-regarded nurseries sell popular general-purpose bonsai soil mixers and are available online, such as Ibuki in Poland or Kaizen in the UK. In truth, your trees are responding to what is not included in the bag, the air and the water. Many bonsai enthusiasts will opt to make their own bonsai soil mixers. Organic or inorganic? Organic bonsai soil mixers contain components derived from living or once living materials. These typically include elements like composted pine bark, coconut coir, or peat moss. Here are some key points about organic soil mixers. The pros. Organic materials release nutrients gradually as they decompose, providing a steady source of nutrition for the bonsai. Organic matter has good water holding capacity, ensuring consistent moisture for the roots. Organic soil support beneficial microorganisms that can aid in nutrient cycling and root health. Some tree species with higher moisture and nutrient requirements, like certain deciduous trees, benefit from organic mixers. The cons. Organic material breaks down over time, leading to compaction, acidity, and a reduction in aeration in the pot. More frequent repotting is required to refresh and replace decomposed organic matter. Lastly, organic mixers can sometimes encourage weed growth or unwanted pests. Inorganic bonsai soil mixers consist of non-living components like akadama, pumice, lava rock, and perlite. Here are some key points about inorganic soil mixers. The pros. Inorganic materials ensure proper drainage and aeration, preventing root rot and promoting strong root development. These mixers break down slowly, reducing the need for frequent repotting. Growers have greater control over the soil's characteristics, making it easier to fine-tune the mix to specific needs of the tree species and local conditions. Inorganic mixers are versatile and can be used for a wide range of tree species. The cons. Inorganic mixers do not provide nutrients, so fertilization is crucial. They have a lower water holding capacity, which may require more frequent watering, especially in dry climates. Trees transitioning from organic to inorganic mixers may need time to adapt. The choice between organic and inorganic bonsai soil mixers often depends on factors like the tree species, the local climate, and the specific goals of the grower. Many experienced bonsai enthusiasts opt for a combination of both types, creating a hybrid mix that combines the benefits of each. For instance, a mix that includes Akadama, pumice, and composted pine bark can provide a balance between water retention, aeration, and nutrient release. Ultimately, the right bonsai soil mix should align with the needs of the bonsai tree and the preference of the grower. Soil-borne pests. A bonsai soil mix with a higher proportion of organic components like pine bark or compost can make it more attractive to insect pests like vine weevils. Organic materials provide a food source and a suitable environment for these pests to thrive. To reduce the risk of pest infestations, it's generally recommended to use a well-draining, inorganic soil mix, or a mix with a lower percentage of organic matter. This can create an environment that is less hospitable to soil-based insect pests, and help maintain the health of your bonsai trees. Soil components and properties. Horticultural growing mediums play a crucial role in the cultivation of bonsai trees. Each of the materials has its own unique chemical and physical properties, with specific advantages and disadvantages for bonsai cultivation. You should concern yourself more with the properties of the soil or soil components you're using, rather than the actual product itself. It's often possible to substitute components for something similar, if you understand their properties and what they bring to your soil mix. The key is to cover the essential basics of free draining, water retention, good aeration, and nutrient holding. Here's a detailed breakdown for some popular and commonly used soil components and what they bring to a bonsai soil mix. Molar clay. Molar clay is a lightweight, porous clay material, typically neutral in pH, which is suitable for most plant types. Molar clay has excellent drainage properties and retains some moisture. It's good for moisture regulation, lightweight, and provides stability to the bonsai tree. As a high-fired clay, it does not break down over time, like some other substrates. Akadama. Akadama is a type of volcanic clay that is slightly acidic. It has good water retention while maintaining aeration due to its granular structure. It's excellent for root development, pH suitable for many bonsai. It does, however, break down over time, necessitating regular repotting. Pumice. Pumice is a lightweight volcanic rock, neutral in pH. It offers good drainage and aeration due to its porous nature. Pumice promotes healthy root growth, prevents compaction, and is lightweight. It lacks water retention properties, so it's often mixed with other substrates. Lava. Lava is another volcanic rock, typically neutral in pH. It has excellent drainage, but poor water retention properties, and helps with aeration, resists compaction, and is long-lasting. Lava has low water retention, so should be used in blends with other materials. Perlite. Perlite is a lightweight, pH-neutral volcanic glass. It has good aeration, but doesn't retain water well. Perlite is lightweight and improves drainage, and is particularly good for seedlings. It lacks water retention and nutrients. Zeolite. Zeolite is a naturally occurring mineral composed of aluminosilicates. It has a porous structure that can trap and release various substances, including water. Zeolite is often used in agriculture and gardening to improve soil quality and water retention. It can enhance nutrient availability to plants and help reduce nutrient leaching. However, it's essential to follow recommended application rates, as excessive use of zeolite can lead to nutrient imbalances in the soil. Agricultural grit or sand. Agricultural grit or sand is typically neutral pH. It improves drainage and aeration but lacks water retention. It can provide stability and prevent compaction. It should be used in combination with other materials. Composted pine bark. Composted pine bark is slightly acidic due to decomposition. It retains moisture well and offers aeration. Pine bark adds organic matter and improves water retention. It decomposes over time and may become acidic. General purpose compost. pH can vary depending on composition. It offers good moisture retention and some aeration. Being organic, it's nutrient-rich. It can be used as a base in mixers. Since the organic particles decompose and break down over time, it will compact and may have pH fluctuations. Akadama and Kiryu are both popular in traditional Japanese bonsai culture for their water-retaining qualities. Molar clay offers similar properties. Pumice is great for aeration and stability, but requires other materials for moisture retention. Lava, perlite and agricultural sand and grit are often used to improve drainage, but need to be combined with substrates that retain moisture. Composted pine bark and general-purpose compost add organic matter and nutrients, but can become acidic over time and compact. The choice of growing mediums for bonsai depends on the specific needs of the tree species, local climate and growers' preferences. Often a mix of these materials is used to balance moisture retention, aeration and stability, ensuring optimal conditions for bonsai growth. Cat litter controversy. I've seen some disturbing posts and online comments regarding the use of cat litter and wanted to clear up some details and misunderstandings. When experienced bonsai growers talk about using cat litter, they are specifically talking about using molar clay, which is a high-fired clay which is terracotta in colour. It's used in Kitty Friend Pink cat litter and was used in Sunny Cat Pink and Tesco Lure Dust non-clumping cat litter. It's also used in some safety oil spill absorbent materials. Molar clay has been used in both bonsai and cactus cultivation for decades. If it's not molar clay, do not use it for your valuable bonsai trees. You cannot just use any cat litter product. When you hear cat litter, substitute the words molar clay. Other cat litter products will either break down to sludge when wet, or contain harmful ingredients that will kill your bonsai trees. Akadama versus molar clay comparison. Akadama and molar clay are two commonly used components in bonsai soil mixers, and although they offer some similar properties, they have some differences in their properties and composition, both at a macroscopic and molecular level. Origin and composition. Akadama is a type of volcanic, clay-like soil component that originates from Japan. It's primarily composed of granules of clay and mica. The clay component in Akadama provides water retention properties, while the mica component contributes to its porous structure. Akadama is native to Japan, and therefore has to be exported for bonsai use elsewhere, which can make it relatively expensive. It's an oversimplification, but you can think of Akadama as having hollow tubular structures running through its particles. Molar clay, also known as diatomaceous earth, is a type of clay-rich sedimentary rock that is formed from fossilized remains of diatoms, which are microscopic single-celled algae. It's baked at high temperatures and contains a high percentage of silica and smectite clay, along with various minerals and trace elements. Molar clay is mined exclusively by Imeries from the 3 islands off the northwestern coast of Denmark, on the islands of Fur, Mors and Nordsaling. Due to its makeup, you can think of molar clay as having hollow pockets or dimples in its surface. Water retention and drainage. Akadama has good water retention properties, meaning it can hold moisture for the roots of the bonsai trees. However, it also provides good drainage, allowing excess water to flow away. The porous nature of Akadama particles creates air pockets in the soil, promoting root respiration. Water is held in the hollow tubular structures of Akadama. Molar clay has lower water retention properties compared to Akadama. It tends to drain water more readily. Water is held in the hollows of the clay particles. Durability and breakdown. Akadama is known to break down over time due to its clay composition. As it breaks down, it can become compacted, reducing its effectiveness in terms of water retention and drainage. Therefore, regular repotting and soil renewal are recommended to maintain the quality of the soil mix. The action of water freezing and thawing can cause the soil particles to fracture and break down over time, becoming increasingly smaller. However, as roots grow in the soil, they grow through the tubular structures, and as they increase in size also cause the soil to fracture. In doing so, this also causes damage to the fine roots, causing them to subdivide and become increasingly fine, which is a desired behaviour for bonsai trees growing in shallow pots. Molar clay is generally more durable and resistant to breakdown compared to Akadama. Its mineral composition contributes to its stability over time, making it less prone to compaction and degradation. Unlike Akadama, the soil particles do not crack and fracture as water in the soil freezes and thaws. However, as water freezes and expands, it can cause a phenomena where the soil appears to rise up out of the pot. It's important to note that while Akadama has been traditionally favoured in bonsai cultivation, its availability and use may vary depending on region. Merla clay and other alternative components are sometimes used as substitutes or in combination with Akadama to achieve specific soil characteristics desired for certain tree species or growing conditions. Ultimately, the choice of soil components should consider the specific needs of the bonsai tree and be based on experimentation, observation, and local availability. Special considerations. Some plants, like azalea, prefer a more acidic, ericaceous soil such as Kanuma. You need to be aware of the species-specific requirements of your trees and make sure your soil caters for that. APL, a popular mix. The Akadama Pumice and Lava APL mix is a popular bonsai soil mixture used in cultivation, and it combines three distinct components to create an optimal environment for bonsai trees. Here's a breakdown of each component and why this mixture is popular. Akadama. Akadama is a type of volcanic clay typically sourced from Japan. It's been used for bonsai for generations. It has excellent water retention, which helps to keep the roots hydrated between waterings. It can also provide aeration due to its granular structure. It is favoured for its ability to support root development, maintain consistent moisture levels, and provide a stable foundation for bonsai trees. Lava. Lava rock is another volcanic material commonly used in bonsai soils. It has exceptional drainage properties and is highly resistant to compaction. Its porous nature promotes aeration around the roots. Lava rock is included in the mix to prevent waterlogging and maintain a well-ventilated root system. It contributes to the structural stability of the soil. Pumice. Pumice is a lightweight volcanic rock with porous texture. It's neutral in pH and offers superior drainage and aeration. It's lightweight, preventing the soil from becoming too heavy. Pumice ensures that the soil mixture is well draining and aerated, preventing compaction and allowing the roots to access oxygen. Why the APL mix is popular. The Akadama Pumice and Lava mix is popular in bonsai cultivation for several reasons. It offers balanced properties. This mix combines the strengths of each component, providing a balance of moisture retention, drainage and aeration. Bonsai growers often fine-tune the blend to best suit the needs of their trees, but the APL mix serves as a versatile and time-tested foundation for bonsai cultivation. The truth, in summary. There's no one single perfect bonsai soil mix. The key is to provide good drainage, water retention, aeration and nutrient provision. Understand the properties of each component in your soil and what they bring to the mix. Any soil component can be substituted with something with similar properties. When experienced bonsai growers talk about cat litter, what they specifically mean is Merla clay. You cannot just use any cat litter product. A mix of Akadama, Pumice and Lava is considered a good, general, all-purpose soil mix. And because APL is a wholly inorganic soil mixture, I would recommend mixing something like biochar into your soil to help promote beneficial bacteria, which will be good for the roots of your trees and help with nutrient retention and absorption.